Today on the channel, it's a return of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, and today we follow the buzzards with the Bray Wyatt Top 5.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on this very YouTube channel, where every single Thursday we're counting down my top 5 and top 10 favorites of something out there. And today we got a somber countdown as we are counting down my top 5 Bray Wyatt figures of all time. Now, in the past, we did do a top 5 Fiend countdown. This time it's going to be just Bray Wyatt figures. And of course, a little bit timely with him recently passing away here. And a lot of people wanted me to do this video. I had a lot of requests saying, hey, why don't you do Bray Wyatt? Do Bray Wyatt. I didn't have any plans to do Bray Wyatt anytime soon. Just wasn't on my card and my to-do list. But you guys spoke. You guys wanted me to move it up there. And I will say, a lot of people saying, obviously Terry Funk died, Bray Wyatt within a day of each other. Just absolute tragedy and different reasons, I guess. Terry Funk lived a long life, but Terry Funk lived a long life in front of us for 50 plus years for a lot of people out there. So a lot of history with Terry Funk, and for me, personal history with working with him and meeting him on a couple of different occasions. Now, Bray Wyatt, more tragic because he's young. He was a young guy. He didn't get to live his full life. So definitely a tragedy there, but definitely meant a little something different to me between Bray and Terry Funk's death. I'm going to be honest, Terry Funk's death affected me a heck of a lot more just because of being such a fan of Terry Funk for a long time. Doesn't take anything away for Bray Wyatt there, but I am not one of those people. I wear my heart on my sleeve for what I like and what I don't like. And Bray Wyatt is a guy I respected, I liked. I personally like the Fiend persona the most. That's me, depending what you want to say. But I will never sit here and tell you guys I was the biggest Bray Wyatt fan in the world. He's just the greatest thing ever. And there's a lot of people that do that kind of stuff. And I'm not pulling on anybody or picking on anybody out there. But I've said it before, you got to wear your heart on your sleeves. These people you really love and stuff, man, follow them, support them, tweet out to them. Maybe they'll see it, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll respond, maybe they won't, but they will probably see that kind of stuff. Let these people know how much you've been affected by them and things like that. I always do say that's something you got to do, and it's rough to have anything left unsaid after they've passed away or what may have you. I'm so happy in the Terry Funk example. I got to tell Terry Funk and spend time and tell him how much he meant to me. So that was a really fun situation, a really fun thing for me to do. And hopefully those that really love Bray Wyatt got to do that as well, what he meant to them and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm a Bray Wyatt fan. I'll just never say he's on my Mount Rushmore of figures. I'm not going to sit here and gush and say, this is the greatest wrestler of all time. I absolutely loved him, because we see a lot of that out there. People, oh, I love it. I'm like, gosh, I've never heard this person ever talk about Bray Wyatt. Now it feels like they're the greatest fan in the world of him. And it is what it is. I don't know what that gets over with and what we talk about there, but it is just something I always notice when these things happen. And I always feel bad for people that never got to tell the people what they meant and all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. It's a weird head trip in a lot of ways there. But Bray Wyatt, definitely a once-in-a-lifetime talent. I mean, you really think about it, going back to the NXT days, the Wyatt family, of course, Bray Wyatt in the Fun House, the Fiend, so many different characters, the Uncle Howdy kind of era, I guess, at the end, just reinventing himself time after time after time, which is not easy to do, that is for sure. So definitely an all-time great. Got to think eventually a WWE Hall of Famer. I don't know when they will do that, but there's no doubt in my mind he earns it. He was a champion multiple times, gotten over and succeeded in multiple gimmicks. Really a modern Hall of Famer, really, at the end of the day. There's no doubt about it. So going to be an interesting list here, as always. Get your list together. Of course, it is top 5. 5 is where you start. You end at number 1, with number 1 being your favorite Bray Wyatt figure of all time. And as always, this is my list. It is my list. That's always a confusing thing for people. It's my list, so it can't be wrong, just like your list. It can't be wrong. So put your list in the comments down below. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 5. We begin our countdown at number 5, but before we get to number 5, I want to have an honorable mention. This one can't count in the entire collection, but this is possibly my favorite Bray Wyatt figure I actually own, and it is a custom. I'm not a big custom guy, but I love a good, easy custom, and that's what we had right here. This is the Wyatt Gym, the Muscle Man Dance Bray Wyatt. Always got a kick out of that one. Of course, the Bray Wyatt Funhouse, the Firefly Funhouse. Quite the thing, quite the different incarnations as we do know. But the Muscle Man Dance, an all-timer, there's no doubt about it. So got some black pants, got a third-party shirt on there, using the Bray Wyatt body. Just definitely does work out really good. You get the head from one of the Bray Wyatt's ones. A very easy custom if you need to. Put a headband on there and bam, you got the Muscle Man Dance ready to go. Now this is one of those ones I really do think Mattel missed the boat on, because I do think they could have sold an Elite of this. Would not be shocked to one day get an Elite of this as well. I think it makes a lot of sense since one of the characters we're missing from the Elite line. So I really did like this one. Wanted to show this one off a little bit here. So this is going to be an honorable mention is what we're going to do with that one right there. But now we're getting to the normal number 5 here. And this is a figure that didn't get a fair play or maybe a fair assessment at first. A lot of people scrambling to pick this one up, as well as a lot of Bray Wyatt figures as of this time, as we do know. But this one was one that was really looked the other way, and it felt like one of those lines where one thing doesn't match the others. And this one is the Walmart exclusive WWE Superstars line, Bray Wyatt. A very good Bray Wyatt figure. Definitely another deep cut of Bray Wyatt. We only saw this look really one time in the Firefly Funhouse, but a very cool looking figure for what it is. Now, a lot of people were down on this because you got a line of all these old legends, the Hall of Famers, things like that, and you get one modern day star in there, which really didn't feel right. And now, after all things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, it all of a sudden kind of feels right and makes sense now that, you know, he'll, like I said earlier, he will be a Hall of Famer eventually. So it does kind of feel right there. And it definitely is a cool one here. Definitely cool accessories with the coat, the big top hat, the bow. Definitely an interesting one here. And I was on the fence between this one and Elite 85. And I said, you know, that Elite 85 was such a peg warmer. And I don't like the ab crunch, and I didn't like the orange pants on it. So I said, I'm going the Superstars. The Superstars is going to net that one out. And that's why the WWE Superstars Bray Wyatt hits number 5 in my top 5 list. Next up in the countdown, we're at the number 4 Bray Wyatt figure of all time. And number 4 comes to us once again from the Mattel Elite line. We go all the way back to Mattel Elite Series 36 for Bray Wyatt. Some early Wyatt family edition of Bray Wyatt right here. Of course, you got to have that lantern. You got that very cool top hat. You got his look, the tattoos, the beard, all that kind of fun stuff. And then what I really like on this one is he's got the big apron going on. It just reminds me of something out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a lot of ways. And of course, the Wyatt family, we remember the Wyatt family with Harper and Rowan, of course, back in the day. Definitely an interesting angle, definitely an interesting team. Wasn't really sure what we were doing half the time, but definitely an angle and a team that definitely made an impact and a memorable impression, as we've talked about Bray Wyatt changing himself into different characters and stuff. And this is really the beginning in a lot of ways. Of course, Husky Harris back in the day, we know about that one as well. But this is definitely an interesting one. I remember seeing it for the first time, being intrigued, you know, seeing the Hawaiian shirts he was wearing, things like that. There was definitely some different looks over the time with the Wyatt family. Of course, the lantern coming out. Definitely an all-timer, there's no doubt about it as far as entrances go. And just a really cool figure, really. I mean, a little bit plain Jane as far as wrestling goes. We got some snake skin boots. You got some green pants. You got the apron there. Of course, you got the black wife beater, I guess is what that is. And then you get the hat that is also removable. And I talked about the lantern and the beautiful tattoos on this one. So a good figure, really, at the end of the day. Coming in at number 4, 36 Elite Bray Wyatt. And just like that, we're at the halfway point. We're at the number 3 in the countdown of my favorite Bray Wyatt figures of all time. And number 3 could be at the top of a lot of people's lists. Remember, this is no Fiend included. We did a separate top 5 on the Fiend about a year ago on the channel. So check that one out if you want to see the Fiend figures. But this is an interesting one here. This was a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. It is Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. Definitely an interesting set, there's no doubt about it. I'm not a huge fan of it in package with the perforated front flaps you have to cut to open it up. That was a little bit disappointing, but very cool box style, all that. Love the background. When you pull it out, you got the background of the fun house with the windows that pop out. You got all the characters with him. I thought that was a really cool feature there. Definitely a good head sculpt. A little bit to be desired as far as the accessories go. I actually do have a third-party red shirt over the top of him because that's really what that set was meaning. It should have had a little bit more bells and whistles, and that's what it was missing. So I did go to third-party, probably Threadhead or something like that, and got this shirt for Bray Wyatt. But I love getting the puppets. I love the background. Just an all-timer as far as Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. The definitive version, if you ask me, is right here, and it was a ringside collectible exclusive, and that's why this one comes in at number 3. We've landed at the number 2 Bray Wyatt figure of all time as voted by me. As I always say, remember, put your list in the comments down below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. We always, of course, have videos every single day on this channel, including countdown videos every single Thursday, so stay tuned to that one right there. But this one, for number 2, we're going to Mattel Elite Series 54 for a more closer to modern take, I guess, on the Wyatt family Bray Wyatt. Definitely an interesting one with the long, crazy hair, the long beard, the feathery vest going on. Of course, you got the lantern, the carryover. Definitely just a cool one, and just something about this one I really like compared to the other ones. And I guess it's just putting them in order. This one took the number 2 spot for me. Just definitely cool. I love the size of this one. And we talk about it on the channel during reviews a lot of times. You get a figure and it just feels really good out of the package. That's kind of how I feel about this Bray Wyatt figure. It just feels really good. I love the extra attention to detail in the hair on this one. Always love the colorful tattoos. You know I'm a sucker for a colorful tattoo on an action figure, so that looks really good. And then we got a new different lantern on this one as well. Lighting the way for the old Fireflies, as they do say. So a very solid Bray Wyatt right here, coming in from Mattel Elite Series 54, coming in at number 2 in my top 5 countdown. We got one left. Any guesses? I think most could figure it out, but it's up next. The number 1 Bray Wyatt figure of all time is voted by me. All right, we've arrived at the top spot, the number 1 Bray Wyatt figure of all time. Make sure you put your list in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this very YouTube channel, as we got videos every single day, as I did say. But the number 1 Bray Wyatt figure of all time for me, going all the way back to Mattel Elite Series 28. We're going all the way back to how we remember him kind of at the beginning. It is Bray Wyatt in the Hawaiian t-shirt, the floral pattern. Feeling a little bit like a Waylon Mercy for you old-time fans out there, but you got the kind of I'm going on vacation hat going on, and the vacation floral shirt, the white pants, the boots. Definitely the first incarnation of Bray Wyatt, and nobody was really sure. Is he a cult leader? Is he a crazed, demented killer? Is he a good time guy? We're not really sure, but definitely when I close my eyes and I think of Bray Wyatt, I think of him like this in the Hawaiian shirts. Of course, like I said earlier, probably The Fiend is his legacy for me. I really love The Fiend. That was a shot in the arm. There's no doubt about it. Bigger fan of The Fiend than the Bray Wyatt character when we're talking characters, but there's no doubt about this one. This is what I think of when I close my eyes and I think of Bray Wyatt. Then the extra touch, of course, of the rocking chair. Very cool, of course, very symbolic with Bray Wyatt. Only time we ever got the rocking chair in the Elite line would be one of those things, and maybe in a future Greatest Hits line, something like that. We do have a Bray Wyatt Greatest Hits right around the corner. That's very cool to have a figure that was deleted, no pun intended, a while back, getting another lace on life in the Greatest Hits line, and I would love to see more of that in the future. But just an all-timer as far as Bray Wyatt goes. The rocking chair really taking it over the top. Just a very, very fun figure, and a very fun list of figures right here. You know, some good, some bad for Bray Wyatt in his career. Like I said, some of the ones were a little iffy from time to time, especially some of the basics as well. But a guy that had no shortage of figures at the end of the day, and I have to imagine more figures to come in the future. Like I said, Greatest Hits right around the corner. But we're here for more Bray Wyatt figures, more Fiend figures. There's another Fiend Ultimate along the way as well. So there's a lot of stuff to come, and I hope they do have more figures of him to keep the legacy alive. And of course, that helps with finances and stuff, because he did leave behind kids, and I guess he was engaged to be married. I guess he wasn't married at the time. but definitely a way to help along the way with some more action figures and merchandise from him. And I know from a guy that had a lot of his heroes pass away over the years, there's something special about having merchandise still coming out and still be able to buy that Ultimate Warrior shirt, that Terry Funk shirt, things like that. You don't want to forget him. You want to celebrate that into the future, and I'm definitely part of that team. I don't feel it being a cash grab, and if it is and it's going to the right places, man, that's okay, because we want to support these guys. We want to remember these guys like Bray Wyatt for the rest of our life, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But a lot of us want to remember our heroes. So there it is, top 5 Bray Wyatt, a somber one, not too exciting of a top 5. Maybe it's just too fresh. It's hard to do these kind of things sometimes. And like we did the Terry Funk one a week or two, what is time back? I mean, it was very tough to do. This one still feels a little bit strange to me here, but a lot of people reached out, want me to do this. So, hey, I'm here to please the people. I'm here to please the people. So there it is, the Bray Wyatt top 5. Let me know your top 5. Put it in the comments down below. Of course, like I said, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. And don't forget, we got early videos, all kinds of stuff over there, bonus for you on the Patreon channel. Patreon, your best way to support this very YouTube channel. Pro Wrestling Tees, another place to support the channel if you wish. And don't forget to follow along over on social media, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram and on Threads. So for the Bray Wyatt top 5, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.